What is up? What's good and what's cracking, good people of YouTube land? It's your boy Gates McCoy. I've been MIA a little bit on the retro videos and the retro gaming store buys and finds as I have been busy. Don't worry, there is more content in the making and in the works. I have been buying games, this is some of them, and I have been recording retro games. So those of you that are subscribed and you're wondering where the hell are the retro games, where are the buys and finds videos, that's kind of why I'm saying all this and leading the video like this, because the content is coming soon. I decided to take a break because it gets expensive. It gets expensive finding these games, hunting them down, and then playing them. So with the massive pace that I kept over, I'd say, the last year, which is pretty relentless. I uploaded probably 300 videos last year. Your boy needed a break. It was overload. There was a lot of money going out, and it was a lot of time being consumed. So with that being said, nevertheless, here is another retro gaming store buys and finds video. We got 5 games up for grabs this time. I figured I'd make it a good one. I'll throw 5 games in. I have a stack of new games you guys have not seen yet. So I just grabbed 5 random games out of that stack. So nevertheless, let's start from left to right like I like to. If you guys are new to the videos, this is how I do it. Stay tuned, sit back, relax, and enjoy. All the way in the back, we have a Super Nintendo Paperboy 2. Everybody played the Paperboy series. Even some of you guys might have even played the Paperboy series on the Nintendo 64 as well, but I missed the one on the Super Nintendo. And I also missed the one on the Nintendo 64. I did buy that and do a video on that. You're more than welcome to go back and check that out. But Paperboy 2, I did not play that. By the time Paperboy 2 came out on the Super Nintendo, I was probably either past it or playing something else like Super Mario Kart along with some of the other great classic titles. But Paperboy 2 wasn't expensive. All these games are roughly about $7 each. $7 to $10 each. I left some of the price tags on some of them so that way you could see that. Right below Paperboy 2 for the Sega Genesis, we have The Incredible Hulk. The Incredible Hulk was a badass game. The mechanics were good, the playability was good, and for a button smashing, side-scrolling Sega Genesis 16-bit, 32-bit game, pretty fucking badass. Plays really nice, looks really good. I remember actually playing this game when it came out. Actually, the funny thing is, when I bought this game, they had a game. They had the Incredible Hulk with the case and manual, but they wanted a ridiculous amount for it, something like $50, when realistically that game should have only been maybe 15, $20 tops with the case and manual. So I bought it single here for $7. Made more sense for me to buy it that way. Next up in the middle for the NES, regular Nintendo Classic Throwback Whip for, what do we got here? $7.99. We have Ghostbusters 2. I did not play any of the Ghostbusters series. To me, the Ghostbuster games, along with like the Goonies and other games, I just kind of skipped those. I never really got to play them too much. I did actually, I believe I bought the Goonies too on one of my previous buys and finds videos. I still need to do gameplay on that as well. But Ghostbusters 2, I know nothing about it. Didn't play it. I couldn't even tell you what it looks like or how it plays. But considering the fact that I'm a diehard 80s, 90s nerdy comic book movie fan, I had to grab Ghostbusters just off of premise alone. Next to that, for the Super Nintendo, we have Porky Pigs. I believe it's Porky Pig's Haunted Holiday. I buy games like Porky Pig, Tiny Toons, Toy Story even, because they have the best playability. They had more of a budget at that time. They put more design into the levels and the overall aesthetics and playability of these games. That's why I like to play a lot of these 16, 32-bit games, the Disney games, the Acme Adventure games, anything kind of related to anything kind of cartoon. Always had really good and probably overall better playability than most games. That's why I bought Porky Pig. I don't know much about it. I do feel like I've seen this game be played at one point in time, or it might be familiar and I might need to jog my memory banks by watching it or seeing it be played. But I don't think I played Porky's Pig. I would have to say no, but I grabbed it just based on that I know it's probably going to be an aesthetically pleasing game and fun to play. And last but not least, for the Nintendo 64, we have Toy Story 2. I've done Toy Story videos for, I think, 2 different game consoles. I believe one was for the Sega Genesis and one was for, uh, shit, I don't even know. I believe I did 1 or 2 gameplay videos on that. But I bought Toy Story 2 for the Nintendo 64 because I did not have the second part to this. I thought that Toy Story 2 was released on a previous system, not the Nintendo 64, but I could be wrong, and apparently I was wrong. So that's why I grabbed Disney's Pixar Toy Story 2. For the Nintendo 64, it's probably going to be pretty sweet, pretty hyped up, probably the next gen graphics compared to the Sega Genesis, Nintendo, and Super Nintendo. But I do expect it to be fun. I enjoyed the first one. Definitely a good game to play overall, aesthetically pleasing as well. These were my 5 games, roughly all $10 to $7 each. I'm your boy Gates McCoy. Now you know why I've been MIA and what I've been doing and what you have to look forward to and what kind of content I have coming to you. No worries, the retro gaming, the buys and finds. I'll try to get back to the dumpster diving. And yeah, just stay tuned. If you're not subscribed, please feel free to do so. I'm not here to beg anybody. And until next time, later, people.